Okay, assembly of a Vickers 45 Vane pump, single pump. This is a main drive pump and a stack of 3. Okay, we've already replaced the bearing, Timken bearing. And like I said before, don't ever use a Chinese bearing because that's a main thing with these pumps. These bearings are blowing out, so always use a quality bearing. Okay, and then you got a snap ring. This is pressed on. The seal area has been polished. Okay, now we're gonna put the shaft seal on. And I like to use a little bit of sealant around the outer edge because we've had leakage problem. These things run hot and they're running all day, so this seems to help it out. Had several of these pumps leak. And then we started doing this. We'd do them and then they would start leaking after a while with a new seal in there. But what was going on, it was around here, so we started putting this on and it solved that problem. So we just do it from now on, we do that. Washer that covers the seal. Make sure you have that snap ring on, make sure that's good. Just gonna work that down. Don't bang it real hard, twist it in. Okay, then you have a spiral snap ring. We like to put new of these in there. It's a brand new one. Keeper. Make sure you get that seated in there. That spiral ring wasn't seated right at first. You don't want that. Double check it. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay. We've already done this. This up real good. locating pins in line here. Makes it go a little easier. Now, you got your O-ring. You're going to glue that in. You want to make sure it's sitting in there because they're a little bit bigger. This seals the housing. But make sure they're in there because they're real tight and you'll cut them. They will cut. They're not sitting down. Okay, that one's pretty good. I like that. Now we're going to go find our punch marks, our timing on this housing. I know we punched it, just have to see where it's at. There it is. Okay, there's a number 1 right there. So then we're going to find it on this. There's a number 1. There's a number 1. So it's going to go like so. Okay, that's the reason why we punch these. These things sit for a while and then you forget how did it go on, or if someone else has to put it together, well, how did it go on? And then if you put it on wrong and you take it back to the customer, they're all mad at you. And then you're over there, it doesn't make you look good, so that's why we punch them. Okay, so you got your locating pins. There's 2 pins in there. You got the number 1 and number 1, so we know how it goes there. Make sure that there's nothing in here. Okay. Now, the 1 and 1's right there. That's just what we want. Okay, it's sitting down. Put your bolts in. Just check some here. Make sure that's rolling. So I'm gonna double check the rotation. We want right hand rotation. So I'm gonna look in there to try to see. Okay, right hand rotation. The way to check rotation, you always have the shaft, when you ID it, pointed towards your stomach. And the vane is over here, so it's turning this way. That's right hand rotation. Like this. Don't get confused. You always ID it when the shaft's at your stomach. And then you know that the vane's over here, the edge, so it's turning that way. That's right hand rotation. Okay, also check the seal before we go any further. Looks good. Okay, I just wanted to double check that. And these little flashlights, this is a spotlight type flashlight that concentrates it, and it's a pretty good little flashlight. Okay, now we're going to install the mounting flange. Now this was punch marked also. So you're going to find the punch mark because this can be clogged. 2. It's got a number 2 there, so it goes like this. So you could go like this, all kinds of different mounting configurations. But if you got a 2 and 2 there, that's the way we want it. Now don't forget, you need this O-ring or the case will leak on you. You gotta have this O-ring. This is a new O-ring from the kit. Make sure you have that. Otherwise, they'll put it on, the case will start leaking. I'm going to give it a little bit of lube in here. Make sure your number 2's there, 2's there, got the O-ring in, drop it on. Okay, now, we talked about this before. The bolts that hold this on, you have some special sealing washers, little O-rings in it. We're going to replace those every time. Okay, we keep a bunch of these in here because they don't, normally these don't come with the kits. When you're just doing the cartridges, so we got a whole bunch of these. And we replace them every time because the O-rings get torn up. So you want to change this no matter what. Okay, so you got new ones on here. And with this, you don't want to use an impact on this. Do this, hand tighten these. See, this got a piece of O-ring broken on it. So when we do this, we'll do it hand torqued, not impacted, because you don't want to totally hammer these too hard. Now you could use a smaller, lightweight impact on it, but don't take a big 1/2-inch impact and start hammering these things. Okay, you can see this. So those we can replace that. And then the other thing is always supply them with an O-ring for the next pump to mount up. And we put these in here. You go send this to them, they go install it, they got an O-ring that's pinched or flattened. So, you can't just run out unless they have these. You can't run out and, oh, where do I get one? And then they're hung up because of the other O-rings and it's got a leak on there. So you always give them a new one so the next pump can mount to this. And I'll show you that we seal that up. Let's impact these on first. Now I will use the impact, but I'm going to control it. I'm not going to let it hammer on. I'm just going to get it started in there. Okay. And we'll hand torque these things. And there probably is a torque setting, but I'm going to do the human torque. I've seen guys, they'll get on with the impact, just start hammering it,